Welcome everyone to episode 11 of Talk of the Rift. This is a podcast about all things League of Legends, from current state of the meta, upcoming changes, and professional play. I am your host Logan, and joining me today is Eli.
Hello.
And Coobs.
What's good?
At the end of the show, we do a live Q&A, so if you want to submit your questions, you can tweet them to us at Talk of the Rift, post them in Twitch chat, or even send us an audio message on our Anchor page, anchor.fm/Talk of the Rift, and we will play it live on the show. If you're listening to us on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe, and if you're on Twitch, be sure to give us a follow so you can stay up to date when we do live shows. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, great. Graduated yesterday, so that was nice.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. Holy
Yeah,
I didn't know
congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you.
He decided to tell me nonchalantly. I found out through League of Legends while he told someone else on our team that he graduated.
They're more important to
Some
me.
random guy on the internet was like, "What's up, man?" "Oh, nothing. I just graduated from college." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, good old
that's
grad
crazy.
school. But yeah, so now I just got to do more studying, even though I studied so I can do my licensing exam in April, but that's a ways away, so for now it's all about League.
Wow, I thought I was doing pretty good. I didn't slip on the ice yesterday. I was like, that was a good day.
That is a good day.
I almost did.
bad.
I went to
Not
kick ice
bad.
off my car and I almost biffed it in the parking lot at work.
Doing one of those dances.
Yeah,
Try to stay on your feet.
it was about a quarter of a second, and I just looked back and saw an ice chunk right about where my head would have been. So almost died, but whatever.
Good old Minnesota.
So for the beginning here, I wanted to do a quick conversation. We have a lot of things to talk about today, but Pobelter's returning, Cloud9's amazing, etc., etc. But I was watching a interview today that was Dash. That's called the Q. Dash interviews players and stuff. He's interviewing Meteos, and Meteos said it was just like a thing he said in passing, but it made me actually think about it. Imagine traditional sports.
Okay.
And
Imagining.
To the players, they had fog of war.
Oh.
Think of let's use American football.
It's called a
And
concussion.
I have to say American football.
And his
because we
name
have
was Ed
European
Reed, by the way.
Yeah. Imagine you're the quarterback, okay, and you say hut, you back up, and you literally cannot see anyone on the defense. It's literally nothing. And then all of a sudden, this guy starts coming around from the right, and you're like, holy shit. And then this guy kind of jumps up from the left. You're like, holy shit. It's just something I thought about that was just because League of Legends as a game, because the reason why he just kind of nonchalantly said it was he was talking about how in normal sports, when somebody at home is watching and says oh my god, how did you not see that person, they're able to be seen. He's like, in League of Legends, when you're oh my god, I can't believe you face checked that bush, he's like, we don't see the bush, you can't see in the bush, you can't see where people are. It's so easy to criticize players for not knowing things when you have all the information.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know, imagine, I don't know, basketball, that half of the court is just fog, and you're dribbling, you're like, well, here I go, hopefully
that would be the end of the fast break as we know it.
That's why
I'm trying to imagine baseball with fog of war. An outfielder's job would just be a nightmare.
You're running to second base, and you're I don't know if this guy has the ball or not, but I'm just gonna go for it. Your teammates waiting on second, so you have vision. He's like, come on. He gets there, and then he sprints to third. You're good. This guy doesn't have it.
I'm just imagining the fog of war ends.
Shortstop.
Yeah, the fog of war ends at the infield. So you're I think it was gonna land about here, and you just put your glove up and pray.
You'd you're one of your wide receivers' jobs. You just get the fastest guy you could, just so he can run as fast as he can into the backfield. So you just be okay, now I have vision. There's two defenders over there. There's one over there. Exactly. Just a running ward.
That's why I always mute Twitch chat though, because
yeah,
every time I watch it, it's just oh my god, so bad. It's well, you do realize we literally see everybody when we're watching it. You got to put themselves in their shoes just a little bit.
I guess the other half of that is most of those people are just doing it to be one of
to be edgy,
one of the hive mind that is Twitch chat.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But yeah, that's the same thing happens in like traditional sports, like armchair quarterbacks. It's like, how could you not know? It's like, well, you're looking at it from a 45-degree angle, like above the play, so you can see what they're doing. He's got to look over 5 6'8" linemen that are being crushed by 4 more 6'8" linemen, and then worrying about, there's just so many other factors
Yeah,
that
no, absolutely.
you're not in the moment.
Yeah, it's easy to be an armchair general.
No, yeah, fast thought. Sometimes
Yeah.
fun to talk about.
Wait. Yeah. I like it.
So first, for our serious conversations of the day, Pobelter is back. He's the mid laner now for CLG again.
Best team in the league.
Which, fun fact, because I kind of forgot about this. Did you know that Pobelter was actually only on CLG for a single split?
I didn't know he was on CLG, so
he was on their team when they won their first split.
Actually,
And then they got Huhi, and then they immediately won the second split, because that's when they got rid of Pobelter and Double Lift, and they got Huhi and Stixay, and then they immediately won again, and then they never won after that.
Was it TL he did most of his career on?
Well, he was on Immortals for
Evil
a minute,
Genius.
right?
It was
He was on
Immortal,
Evil
that's all.
Geniuses for a long time, way back in the day.
Yeah,
And then
Immortals
Immortals was... He was on
With
Immortals throughout their entire success, because he was
the
bought...
jungler.
He was on Immortals when they had their big run, and then he was sold when Immortals didn't make franchising. So he was sold to Team Liquid, and Liquid kept him. And then he was on there for
Gotcha.
1 year. So I would say it's probably Immortals.
Okay.
FlyQuest was a year. Yeah, so that sounds about right.
Glad he's back. He deserves to be back.
Notorious
absolutely.
POB.
He should have been signed at the beginning.
Crown
of
was
the play.
doing terrible.
Crown was the worst mid laner in the league.
Yeah. He was not doing well.
No, it was not great. And it's so weird because 3 years ago is he like one of the best in the world?
I mean, he did win Worlds.
Oh, he actually won it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
He won.
Was he on a Samsung team?
Yeah, Samsung Galaxy.
Is that what it was?
I can't remember I'm trying to think of what year that was. That was like 3 years ago. They beat
He's
SKT
a system mid laner.
when Huni was on SKT.
The Tom Brady of the League of Legends, huh?
Yeah.
Just system players, man.
Wouldn't that just be like Pobelter?
I mean,
Like,
Cole
actually-
Belter is more like game manager.
Pobelter could just you could put him onto any team and he could just be like a solid B minus.
He's like a game.
okay.
He's a game manager. He's just he's never gonna do bad. He usually doesn't pop off. That's kind of how I see him.
if you want to put it to like a raw traditional sports analogy, I'm gonna use basketball because they also put 5 players on. Like, he's the 6th guy. He's the first guy off the bench on any team he wants to play for. On a couple of teams he's probably starting, but he's the guy you could pull off the bench. You're gonna get some valuable minutes out of, but he's not necessarily the flashiest guy on the court.
Yeah, definitely not flashy. I at the beginning of the split was very surprised no one picked him up.
Right.
Because I think he is better than a few. Like some of the teams drafted or picked up some mid laners that might be more like potential based. Like that Oceanic guys after 100 Thieves.
Ryoma.
Ryoma. Yeah, and so I understand that, but there's some other teams. It's like Pobelter's good. He's proven.
Well,
He'll hold down mid lane. He doesn't lose lane.
Yeah,
He's
Crown
fine.
should have
Like, so I was-
performed. That's the thing.
Crown
is that,
should have. Yeah,
So
that
this
has,
isn't the team that should have picked him up. Immortals. You'd think that after this at this time, you'd be like, oh, Immortals would be like, hey, Pobelter, you want to come back? Ica sucks, because Ica would be the second worst mid laner.
Yeah.
I would say.
So that's a good point. Yeah, I think he'll do well. And I think that he'll bring CLG in the right direction just because I think he'll get everybody on the same page, and I think they need someone that's like a leader in the calls is what they need. Based on all their mistakes, it seems just like no one's on the same page. Their timing's awful. And I think he actually will help a lot with that. So I wouldn't be surprised if CLG's like a much improved team after this, because most of their they have the talent, honestly. It's just most of their woes is they're not playing. They're playing as a bunch like 5 solo queue players is what it
Yeah.
feels like.
Ooh.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if they, start picking up some wins against like some quality wins against some decent teams because of this.
I mean, at this point, I think they'll take any win they can get.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a desperation move. End of the day, like they needed
they're
something
super-
to change. They had to make it happen. But I think this is good. I think this is a good move. I give this a 10 out of 10 for CLG.
And the timing, I think, is actually perfect because they have C9 like first game this week. So when they lose to C9, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, what the hell?" It's gonna be like, "No, yep, that was gonna happen no matter what. Like that's a pass, Pobelter. You're good. Like you get
Yeah,
that's your warm up
yours-
game. Everything's fine. And then if they start losing after that, then that's a problem. But that's what I'm saying though. If they can't turn around in one game, like it's fine. Like, are you really gonna flame them for losing to C9? Like, no.
Imagine Pobelter just pops off and
And they
C9
win.
loses.
Oh my god. I don't think CLG fans have ever been that happy, like in the last 3 years. They'd be ecstatic.
Yeah, they. I don't think it's enough for them to make playoffs, but I think it's a good move going forward for them, considering it's all about the falls or whatever splits next. Not this one.
I'm pretty sure C9 was 1-7 when they made playoffs and went to finals that one summer with like Zazel and Blabber or whatever. So this would be their turnaround week right here. This is it. This is where they go undefeated to squeak into playoffs.
Could be. I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
This is with the broadened playoff pool, right? Or is that?
Yes.
No. Well, there's
That's
6 for this one. There's 8 for the next one.
Okay, the next
summer
one's
split. Yeah,
It's still
Then,
6, but it's the double elim still.
If you don't make playoffs in that split, there's some people losing their jobs.
Yeah, considering it was 8 out of 10 teams make it.
Yep. Yeah.
Just put everybody in and just do a round. Why just leave the 2 out?
Because it's exciting.
It's just so many. They need to expand.
It makes the battle for 8th place as exciting as the battle for first.
I guess so. Yeah, that's true. Because playoffs, anything can happen.
That's true.
You really gotta feel like the ugly duckling if you don't make the summer playoffs.
God, that would feel bad if you don't make summer playoffs.
One of the 2 teams that don't make it.
We're just focusing on playoffs right now as they're in 9th place. It's like just trying to get to playoffs. Like, so you're just trying to not be the 9th place team. Cool.
The
That's
other
it.
half of that is
That's
like
it.
is like one of the other coaches of the team. Playoffs. We're just happy to win a game.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Talk about playoffs. We gotta win a game.
Oh man, that is like a Detroit Lions move though. If you don't make playoffs in an 8-team playoff pool, you are the Detroit Lions of the LCS.
Oh boy. Can I throw out a random stat that I think is hilarious?
Yeah, go for it.
So the Detroit Tigers have drafted more NFL quarterbacks.
For anyone not paying attention.
Yeah, for NFL quarterbacks or NFL Super Bowl quarterbacks than the Detroit Lions because they drafted Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's one of my favorite stats.
That's really funny, actually.
Their baseball team drafts better quarterbacks than they do.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's sidebar though. Yeah. Anything else about CLG? Are they gonna?
They suck.
They're still
They're
bad.
bad. They're
They're still bad.
But yeah, we'll see.
Jat's new podcast. He talks to the guy that writes the 10 thoughts going into the LCS. It's the brother of High, fun fact, but Keen Lamb, I think his name is. But when they get to the end of the podcast, Jat was like, he's like, you want to talk about like anything with CLG? And he's like, no. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, no, yeah, they suck. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, they're bad. Move on. Like, there's nothing.
He's not wrong.
He's like, if I talk about them, I have nothing positive to say. And it was before before Pobelter moved over is when they had this conversation. So it was like, I'm sure now they would talk about a lot, but he's just like, I have nothing good to say, so why say anything at all? Like, yeah,
right,
valid. But this makes me happy.
Yeah, me too.
It's a crappy team.
Yeah, I love when CLG loses. That's my favorite team to watch lose, actually.
Makes the fans sad.
Makes the fans sad. That's like half the fun though. Is like in any sports setting at all. is like
Yeah.
if you there's a team you don't like or like they're your rivals, and you see their fans being sad, it's kind of rewarding.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I'm
kind of like
with ya.
Liquid fans right now. They're like, "Oh my god, we suck." It's like, "Yeah, oh damn, you suck after 2
Yeah.
years of being good." Oh, that must hurt.
Yeah.
Bring them back to the 4th place reality. Oh, there
Um,
goes gravity.
Before I forget about this, I saw a tweet from the LPL this week. Because of the coronavirus, they're not having their traditional
Yeah.
like how we do how we do the LCS and the LEC. They're actually starting on the 26th. So Wednesday of next week, they're going to be starting up an online scrims league to actually have an LPL team. And I don't know if that means that they'll actually be able to go to MSI, the team that wins that. I have no idea. But they are putting a league together, and they can't meet for it, so it's just an online scrims league.
So they basically then they must have
What are they
decided
about
that
paying?
their actual start date would be so far out to like get it in person in arenas again
Yep.
that they're just forced to do it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could have talked about this a little bit later, but we were going to talk about the recap in the LCS anyway. So I think it's a good time to talk about it now,
Mhm.
because we're on it. Like, I'm not saying that C9 is going to win MSI. I'm not saying it, but
Yeah, you are.
you have a dominant NA team. You have the most dominant region who literally has not started their spring split yet. Now they're starting in 6 days. Like, is this like actually like it feels bad because if they did win, like people would be like, well, the LPL didn't play. And I understand
Right.
that, like I get that. It makes sense, but
Yep.
this could actually be like, and I know Team Liquid made the MSI finals also like last summer, but like, or last
Yeah,
spring, but
and TSM won it.
TSM did not win MSI.
Wasn't that what that was?
No.
Which international tournament
They
they win?
won
I thought that was MSI.
no, they won ESL or whatever they're called.
I thought
Not
that was MSI.
ESL. What's the
No, wasn't it E ESL?
yeah, ESL Cologne or whatever? Or that's Counter-Strike.
Well, yeah, but
They beat Team WE in one of the
IEM.
IEMs.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Somebody in chat mentioned it.
IEM Katowice or whatever. That one.
Uh,
They won
Katowice.
like the
I was thinking.
Katowice.
Okay.
They won the
Yeah.
fall one, and then you get invited to the championship one, and they beat Team. I think it was Team WE. I'm pretty sure that was the years ago. CLG
yeah,
made
which-
finals at MSI, and then because that was the year the first split that they won spring,
Right,
and
yeah,
then now Liquid
was-
made finals for it.
Gotcha.
Which they're tradition, like you think about them in terms of Counter-Strike. It's actually it's like a convention almost where they do a bunch of different esports. It's just Counter-Strike is the like top tier one that they have there. It's the big ticket one that pulls most of the people in. So it's not like it's just a Counter-Strike tournament, but it's mostly a Counter-Strike tournament.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but I was just gonna
Alright,
say
so
that this
much.
could actually be a competitive international tournament for North America. Because I don't
Yeah.
know if you've watched any LCK, they're not playing great. Like
I know.
they're not doing that well actually. In general.
It's not one of those things that like in the past you'd watch Korean teams play each other, and then you'd get two of the best teams, and maybe they didn't look good because they're being outplayed in certain spots. It's not that they're actually just not playing super great as teams anyway. Like Cloud9 looks better than anybody else I've seen so far, and I not that I've seen a ton, but I've watched a couple of games here and there.
Yeah.
I couldn't give you a team that I would say, yeah, they're gonna give Cloud9 a run for their money. Cloud9 just looks unstoppable.
G2, right?
G2
Oh,
went
yeah,
G2 went
G2,
0-2 this week. They lost against the last place European team
Yep.
that brought their sub in because Forgiven AFK'd the team. And, well, Rage quit the team. And who's the other one? I can't think of what the other team was. It was like a middle pat. Schalke is the one they lost to. Is the last place team.
That's the last place.
And
then
team.
they lost to like
Excel or Rogue.
yeah, one of those. It wasn't Fnatic or Origin, but it wasn't a terrible team. So they went 0-2 this week, which that has
I don't
Europe
think
all flustered. And it doesn't matter.
I don't
right?
think it matters as far
I
as
think if
how
you put them in a
good
best of
G2
5
is.
and you're like, for reals though, we have to win. Like, I think it's okay. But
They kind of troll a lot.
It was Misfits. Misfits beat G2.
Oh yeah, they have a bunch of rookies
Yeah.
and Febivin. But I was gonna to put this into perspective because I did this I think 2 episodes ago. I'm gonna do it again because these are all updated now.
Sure.
Because this is probably the only split I'll get to be on a C9 hype train for a long time. So
I know that you're
it's been
doing
like
your
5 years.
You're doing this is our year like victory lap
Exactly.
right now.
If the current pace continues for Cloud9, okay, historically or a historic kill to death ratio for your entire team is 2.0. Okay, 2.2 to 1, right?
This is cool.
So when Fnatic went 18-0, which is the most dominant European team of all time technically, they had a historic KDA of 2.16. Immortals in 2016 spring had a 2.090 KDA. Cloud9 has a 4.09. They're double what any other team has had. According to Oracle's Elixirs, statistically after 15 minutes, Fnatic had a 70.8% chance to win the game at 15 minutes. Cloud9 has a 86.7% chance of winning just based off stats alone. They have 135 kills in 8 games, 33 deaths, and they've only lost 10 turrets still. And I'm pretty sure 10 turrets was what it was last week. But I could be wrong. I don't think they lost a turret this week. I know their Baron percentage is still 100%, and their Dragon one against TSM, they didn't lose a Dragon. I don't remember was it FlyQuest? No, Evil Geniuses. I don't know if they lost a Dragon to Evil Geniuses or not, but and then the TSM game was the first game that they lost a major gold lead in 7 games then when they were down by 500 gold or it might have been a K gold, but they are on fire and I love it.
Well, that TSM game was it was interesting. Last week I predicted that Cloud9 was going to win on the team fight that involved them getting the Dragon Soul. It was one team fight after that. It was like they won the team fight. There really wasn't a team fight to get the Dragon Soul. It was like 1 or 2 people died, and then TSM limped away, and Cloud9 took the Dragon Soul, and they walked in and won. And you said that they were going to win in under 29 minutes. I don't remember the game time. It was like 24 maybe?
26.
26? I know you hit your under 29 for that.
Yeah.
But TSM got 2 kills really early, and then I knew that game was over when Niski deleted who was playing Gragas?
Blabber. Dardoch was playing Blabber, sorry.
Niski deleted Dardoch like in I think less than a second. Yeah. I mean, it was just absolute obliteration.
Oh, he was Kiana. He's like when Dardoch came to King bot and Niski just like backed up, then Dardoch's like, I'm out. Then Niski just runs up the bush and just like over the wall, like all one shots him. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh damn, like that's. I stood up. I was so excited. I was just like, oh, it is over. But oh yeah, it feels good. I mean, it's interesting to watch like an NA team like smash. You know, like when Liquid would win all of their games the last 2 years, they would just win. Mm-hmm. And the problem with Liquid is that they were always like a late game, like slow death team. So like they'd always would win, but it would always take a while to win. But you always knew that the outcome would be they would win. Where like Cloud9, you have, I don't know what their average game time is. It's probably 30 minutes, but oh my lord. Like you just get all these I think it's their 3rd under 30 or 4th under 30 game that they've had.
Cloud9's average game time is 30 minutes and 3 seconds.
Yeah, so they're just short of smashing.
Yeah.
I think Evil Genius's game was exactly 30 minutes because I think like they took the Nexus. I don't know when they stopped the clock, but it was like 29:55, and I think it actually blew up at 30.
Yeah. Fnatic is the only team in NA or EU that has a lower average game duration. That's at 29:21.
They also have losses. Yeah. Not saying that's one or the other, but.
Well, no, that just speaks more to the point of how much they're dominating.
Because you can lose fast as well as win fast, where C9 has only won fast.
Yep.
We can jump to another team. I'm sure we'll come back to C9 as we go from team to team. But if you
but
have a
did you
team you
guys-
want to talk about, go for it. Otherwise, we can.
Oh
pick
yeah,
out
probably
one.
do that before my thing, I guess.
What's your thing?
My thing is that what's the show that Captain Flowers does?
This or that?
I think it was this or that. He overslept his slept through his
Yeah.
call time for that, so he's not going to be involved in the broadcast this weekend either as part of the punishment. I saw that
Pull
on
the
Twitter. I wanted to bring
Zyrene.
it up.
Boom.
Oh, Zyrene did do that.
At
Okay, I was
Worlds.
thinking somebody did.
He overslept at Worlds when it was in no, it
Ooh.
wasn't in NA because it wasn't last year, it was the year before. Because they were doing that's the first year they did the broadcast from NA instead of like on site. He overslept, so they were like, "You're done for the week."
Yeah.
No, he was done for the rest of Worlds.
He was
just done. But Flowers just gets the weekend off because I mean Zyrene was fine, but Captain Flowers is now like the goddamn poster child for their LCS. So
I mean, with that jawline,
unless he does
so.
something really stupid, I really doubt they would just can him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd imagine he won't miss his call time again.
Well, it is for this and that, right? I mean, like.
Well, he won't. He won't broadcast for the week.
Well, yeah, I get that.
Right.
Like,
Well, no, yeah, Zyrene's is for
isn't
Worlds.
this or
It's
that recorded?
Yeah.
So like, for Zyrene was for Worlds, so we had to actually be there on time. Like technically, they could have been like, yeah, let's do this afternoon.
Right.
For that, if they really wanted to, but they decided not to.
I think they're just making a point. It's like, hey,
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
this is a professional thing.
Yeah.
You guys-
Absolutely.
What did you think about Broxa?
So-
clearly
And an
didn't do much.
unmotivated double lift.
Yeah.
Clearly didn't do much.
The word that was said over and over was jet lagged.
Yeah, understandably.
Yeah. Like you just don't have time with the team. I think they said this weekend is the one that like you'll have to watch to see how well they're meshing together. Like this weekend or next weekend because they need to really get comfortable with the play style of having Broxa. Either way, I was unimpressed.
Yeah, I was positive, as it is with all teams. When a new jungler comes in, it's always a transition period.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going to work this first week, whether he was jet legged or not.
Right.
They were still going to lose the games they did. And it's going to take some time. I mean, it's an upgrade over Surnefire for sure, but it's still, you got to get on the same page. Everyone's got their own philosophy of the game. You got to... those things take time. And I think they'll come back, but I think it'll be a little bit.
You think they're basically just setting up for next split with him coming back?
I mean, all teams are. I mean, it's for the most part. Like a lot of like the Pobelter change. Like this is the time to try new stuff. This is the time to make your changes. Get your live games in now when you can. That's why the Pobelter thing happened so fast instead of waiting till the off season.
Right.
It's like, well, if we want to have this guy going, we need to make a change. Let's make a change now, since like the split doesn't matter end of the day.
Right.
And so, and that's probably why, which we can talk about too here, but why TSMs are actually drafting like kind of crazy. Because they know that now's the time to try new stuff.
Yeah, I was looking at their champion picks.
Yeah, Kali one blew my mind.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they don't have a lot of redundancies in like picking like a player picking the same champion over and over again. Like it seems like everybody's picking new champions. Who is it on TS? Does Broken Blade play a different champion every game? Is that?
I think so.
Is that still the case?
Yeah, because I don't think he played Rumble twice. That'd be the only one I see him play. Oh, did he play Set twice? Or is that Dardock who played Set?
Dardock
next
played
week?
Set.
Dardock did.
I think. I don't think he's played the same
Dardock played it
champion
last
twice.
week, and then and everyone's banned it. So I don't think everyone's banned it because of the flex potential for them. Then.
Yeah.
What was the
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was the stat we were just asking about? Oh, how many? Broken Blade champs. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's been new champion every single week, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Which he's also like the best top laner.
I think,
In
yeah,
NA, maybe
at least
like
before this last week. I don't know if it's still
right,
statistically still the same this week, but at
but
least before last week, that was correct.
top two top laners in NA, and you're picking a different champion every week. So it's like, go ahead, counterpick me. Go ahead, ban me out. See what happens.
Yeah.
I'll pull something
I
else.
mean, the dude smacked the Aatrox top as Kiana. Like, that's the most impressive thing I've seen in the league in a long time. That's not an easy matchup, and he made it work and actually took over that entire game. So
Mhm.
he's playing well overall. I mean, this last week, I don't know if C9 was the best team to try your new stuff with, especially with the Akali, just got nerfed,
Mhm.
like kind of hard. Um, I think that would have been better to save for a different team. But I mean, they tried it. I can't discount them for that. I'm used to TSM doing the same damn team comps every single time, so I'm actually like I'm happy about it. And they can start to play around kind of different ideas. So
Mhm.
I mean, Brixton played Talia. That wasn't the C9 game, but they're trying to diversify what they're playing on the stage, which kind of makes me happy. Brings a little tear to my eye.
And doing relatively well.
Yeah, they're not doing too bad. What are they, 4-4 right now?
Yeah, they're a three-way
So
tie
not
for fourth.
Yeah, so not like great. I'm sure they would have liked to do better. Rough
Right.
first week.
But
But I think they're still a playoff team, and I think that TSM is the scariest and best of whatevers.
right. I mean, the very top of the NALCS is Cloud9 at 8-0.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Then you've got FlyQuest Immortals at 5-3.
Immortals is such a weird team. I
Correct.
don't understand them.
TSM Golden Guardians and Dignitas at 4-4. And then 100 Thieves, Evil Geniuses, Liquid at 3-5. And then CLG alone at 1-7. So, like, you could see a team go from the very bottom to like second from the bottom to like second place in a weekend. Like
Yeah.
we're still that close. It's just nobody's going to drop into last for a while. Nobody's going to take first for a while. But
Yep.
everything else in the middle is basically a coin toss.
It's free game. Yeah, that's kind of exciting actually. The pack hasn't split yet.
I'd
And
imagine in the
so
next like 2 weeks, you'll get like a pretty big, like you'll start getting
I don't know
pack
if we
split.
will. I
Like
don't know if we will.
I think you will. I think
most teams
the
are just
pack
going to
will
go
still.
one
I
and
think
one.
the pack will still exist, but I think the bottom of it is you're gonna get like 2 teams are gonna drop from it.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah, maybe.
I say that as like I think like Evil Geniuses and CLG like are obviously not catching up. I think Evil Geniuses will still like really struggle, but like 100 Thieves, Golden Guardians, and Dignitas, like one of them will flop and the other two will just be like meh. Like and I say that as like Dig will just finally break and not get better, or Dig will get the resurgence back and 100 Thieves will drop. Like one of them has to fall. Excuse
Yeah.
me. And then like and I think Immortals, like if TSM consistently like keeps getting better and like Team Liquid starts getting better, I don't think Immortals are gonna get better. Like I think they're already like I think we're already watching them at like what they can be.
Mhm.
So like I still think Immortals will make playoffs, but they're not going to be tied for second or like third. They're going to go to like fifth. Like they'll they'll still be in the big bunch, like one win wise, but I think you'll start to see that actual standings rather than just see like a 1, 2, 5, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be. I think we might be in for a little bit though. I think a lot of teams are going to go 1-1 each week.
I mean, it'd be nice to have a big tiebreaker. Do you remember the first split of franchising when there was like that the 6-way or 5-way tie for first at the end of the split?
I'm remembering 6, but I don't know that.
I think it was I think it was all. I mean, it was a lot. It was like 100 Thieves, Cloud9, Liquid, TSM, and Clutch. I think it was literally, or it would have been CLG probably at the time, but SS 5.
That's fine. You listed
They
5.
had to do.
I can't remember if there was one more.
I can't remember what team. I think a team was randomly chosen, or it had to be the fastest game time. Had the bye. 2 teams randomly were selected to face each other, and there was like a mini playoffs bracket round robin thing. It was weird, but it took like 2 days. It was like they had to come back in on Monday to do it. It was crazy. But It'd be cool to do that again for second, you know. And seeding is like a bigger deal now, I would say, because if you like get fifth or sixth, you start in the losers brackets. Like if you lose, you're done.
Yeah.
If you get third or fourth, then you get that free loss basically. I mean, you can lose, so that's
Right.
nice.
Yeah, no, seating is definitely a big deal, which I think before, like, honestly wasn't.
Well, before it didn't matter
Um,
because the other team, like
we'll just
1 and
pick.
2, just pick. So it's like you be
Yeah,
whatever order you want. It's what I'm picking. Now
yeah,
it's like holy crap. I mean, they still pick 3 and 4, but like you still get that. Oh, you know, C9 picked me. Well, I can lose, win my way back up, and I can be second place. You
yep,
know,
or first place.
well, if you beat C9 the second time,
Yeah, yeah.
but
It's a whole new game when you start doing best of fives.
true that.
So
So
I think,
okay,
yeah,
actually,
I'm excited. I'm excited
that's
for
a nice
playoffs.
segue because I think a team that will not be good in best of fives, but I still am excited to watch them play is FlyQuest because it's
No,
like the
yeah.
Power of Evil show right now. He might still lead the league in damage per minute, but he is just dishing all the damage. He's popping off. He is playing very well. I think they falter in the best of five scenario because I think Viper's playing like a 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
He's not playing well at
Yeah,
all.
ever since week one, he's not. Yeah, he has not played too hot.
His Ornn games have not been good. His Mordekaiser game was terrible. So like, and the problem is now is that like if there's no pick ban champions in the game, that hurts FlyQuest more because the enemy team is always gonna like ban Riven now. So like he'll never get to play it. So like
But it
if
should
they were
free up
pick
a ban.
bans,
Like, yeah, it should. Yeah,
but that's what I mean though. So like it's not like we have to ban Akali. Like ooh, can we ban Riven? Like no, like you don't have to ban Akali anymore. So you could just ban Riven, and it's like well we still have 2 more bans, you know. So unless Power of Evil is playing that well, where you're like we got to ban him out, but that's like the last player that you can ban out. So.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
This is the guy that plays Nashor's Tooth Oriana, for God's sakes. Like, I really don't think you can just ban him out.
Yeah. Do we have anything to talk about for fantasy, or do we all just do our best to try to pick every single C9 player?
Well, the esports one, I threw that in there because I had a monster week last week.
You did.
I had a bad one. I'm pretty sure. I haven't looked yet though.
I got 22nd. You might have did. I don't know how well you did, but in the Founders League, I got 22nd for the week.
So the first
You got
place in the
seventh.
Founders League, yeah, first place in the Founders League had 315 points. I had 291.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh yeah,
24
right there.
points
You're
off
7th
first.
place. Jeepers.
Yep. I had a monster week.
Oh my goodness.
I did some figuring. I did the math without getting any of the like my captain's champions right. I think the only way I could have gotten more points was if I had taken a different team because I had Immortals and they scored 3 points in game 2.
Oh jeez.
But like Haunter gave me 44 points, Santorin gave me 42, Niski gave me 68, Sven gave me 66, and Vulcan gave me 37. Sorry, but it's like there were Santorin and Haunter were the highest they could, like most points in NALCS that were not Cloud9 players, and I couldn't have full Cloud9 players because there wasn't the salary cap.
Yeah. And I am regated by the whole not picking EU.
I know, and then I still got 7th.
Yeah, although because anybody that picked EU this week just got dumpstered.
Well, yeah, because people
Anybody who picked caps just went negative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My sneak. Oh, go for it.
Well, I was just gonna ask because the weekly winners, like the highest lineup score, is what I was close to, and like the reward is $1,000. Is that the $1,000 in like company stock, or do they just write you a check for $1,000? How does that work?
I have no
I don't know.
idea.
I haven't won yet.
I was like not even worried about it because like I'm never gonna get close, and then I got top 10.
Yeah, damn. That's yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to brag about that.
Not bad at all. Can I give you my sneaky pick this week?
I
Go
would
for it.
love to hear you. Well, Sneaky's not playing in the NA LCS, so
No, but
you
someone
might
else
not want
is.
to pick him up.
Someone else is who's listed as a
I hope it
jungler and only
doesn't. I hope it doesn't work.
$50,000.
I hope it doesn't work. I hope because he's in the jungler position, he doesn't
My
get points.
baby Pobelter.
Yeah, I don't know how that was gonna work.
50,000, put him in the junk. It's got to be just like when Joe Webb could be used at wide receiver.
Oh man,
So I'm feeling pretty good about that pick here this week.
we'll see how it goes. You might get like big rewarded for that. At the same time,
Or
you
I might get
just get
shafted.
dumpstered for that.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm excited to find out though. I saw it and I was like, there's no way I'm not doing this.
Yeah, pick up 2 mid laners. Why not?
Yeah. See what happens.
All right.
Oh yeah, I just looked it up. You can set
Wait,
Pobelter as a
yeah.
jungler in your lineup and receive points he earns for playing
Yeah,
mid
I
lane.
just found that too.
Let's
It's gonna keep me updated.
go. Let's go.
Who do they play this week?
EG and Dignitas.
Oh, those are not bad.
So actually,
matchups
like, not
either.
too bad of a matchup. Also.
Oh, that's tempting. That's really tempting.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the rest of your lineup?
Licorice and Ven for my C9 players, and I got Bjergsen and Biofrost, and then Immortals because I just go whatever I have left over for my team.
See, because C9 is facing CLG and Immortals, and last time they faced Immortals, it was a smashing. I went Blabber, Niski's, Ven as my C9 players because they scored the most points. And then because I had no money left, I went with Hooney and Keith and Dignitas. So
I was gonna say I didn't go with the Cloud9 because everybody went up like $60,000.
Yeah, Cloud9's expensive.
but Niski and Sven were the highest scoring mid and ADC last week. So
Yes, they were. I had them both.
and these are they could easily score just as many points again.
Yeah. I kind of dumped all my picks into like TSM and FlyQuest. I've got Broken Blade, Santorin, Bjergsen. I'm predicting the Wild Turtle pop off this week. But I still took Biofrost as the support because I'm not like that confident in it. And then I've got Golden Guardians as my team.
Yeah.
I'm predicting a very middle of the road week for myself, but we'll see.
Yeah, I just throw random stuff in and hope it works.
The rule for us is either pick Cloud9 or don't ever pick a player that's playing against Cloud9. That's really it.
That's like pretty much every time I look at. Oh, you got the Cloud9 on the board. You're not coming to my lineup.
They play CLG this week. Pick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the fantasy game right now. There's actually so many champions. In fact, that is both NA and E or people to pick
Teams?
from. That's both NA and EU for this fantasy thing.
Oh yeah.
Hey, maybe I should have done like a second account and try hard on that. But
You barely got
too
into
lazy.
this on your main account.
I know exactly. That was the problem. Who knows? Maybe I'd be at the top of the leaderboard. I'm only 200 out from for this league so far. But oh well. Oh well. There's always next year.
There is always next year. Unless they don't do it next year. Then there isn't next year.
True. Then they got me.
What do you think, Logan? You want to do power rankings?
Yeah, we can do power rankings. Just as a bit of an explanation. So we're next week is technically mid-season, but to prevent a super long mid-season episode or something, we're breaking up some of the stuff. So for this week, we're going to do our mid-season power rankings. I know there's still one game left, but the gist should still be there. I doubt it'll, make us falter any. And then next week, we'll do MVP. I don't know if we'll do anything else because I think the only rookie of the split can be Johnson.
What about closer? Oh, because he's
from Turkey. He's the MVP of Turkey.
Yeah, that's
from
right.
last
That's right.
split, so.
Oh, my money's on Johnson.
So yeah, we'll probably just do an MVP next week, and then maybe if we can think of something else, we'll do it. But, maybe we'll do an all-pro team. Could do that one for like the first one.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
So for power rankings, I think it'll be tough to keep track for the listeners. So I think the three of us will just run through all of ours quick, and then I'll just run through the aggregate one, and we'll go from there. That's not the new one. I almost read Team Liquid first. There we go. So, spoilers for everyone's list and the aggregate, but C9 is number 1 across the board. And then for me, so it's C9, TSM, FlyQuest, Immortals, Team Liquid, 100 Thieves, Golden Guardians, Dignitas, Evil Geniuses, CLG. Goobs.
C9, TSM, Immortals, because they're weird and I don't understand them, so I put them third. FlyQuest, Golden Guardians, Dignitas, 100 Thieves, TL is third to last. EG, CLG.
And Cloud9's obviously first. I think FlyQuest might be better than TSM. I believe that in my heart of hearts. So FlyQuest, TSM, Immortals. Yeah, I agree. I don't understand, but they're here, and we're gonna have to get used to that. Golden Guardians, 100 Thieves, Dignitas is breaking my heart a bit because I'm an old Dignitas fanboy, and I don't like that they're as bad as they are, especially after week 1. But there they are, and then Liquid, Evil Geniuses, and CLG at the bottom.
So as a quick note here, this ranking compared to our like preseason one, obviously CLG is the like most off, so we're just gonna disregard that one. But Evil Geniuses would be the other one, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at aggregate obviously because some of us might have been very. And then
yeah.
FlyQuest would be the other one, I guess, and Immortals technically are actually just the
Logan
whole
was,
top and bottom just like
flip. Logan was the closest to getting EG right.
That's
I was
true.
in the middle of the pack on that one.
I changed that at the last minute. I was like, you know what? They're not going to do it. They're going to suck.
Eli had some hopes.
I had so much faith in that lineup.
You had some hopes. We all messed up on TL, obviously. That's across the board. That's the biggest screw up we had. I'd like to say I was the closest to get them right because I only had them
we
second.
also didn't think it was going to take them 3 weeks to get Broxa.
Also, I'm pretty sure
we also thought
did
they
our
would be
first
better
place.
without him.
First place wasn't ending the season first.
Yeah.
I believe it was our first place was who's winning the split was our logic. So we were like, Liquid will turn it around and win the split. And now we're like, dude, I don't think they can turn it around.
We all thought that they were going to be good without Broxa. Like, it doesn't matter. They still had Jensen, double lift. We're all like, they're going to be fine even without him. And oh boy, we did not realize how bad Jensen and double lift were going to suck.
I knew they would lose some games, but like,
yeah,
they look bad when they lose games.
It's not good.
Double lift just looks so not into it. He looks so done. Jensen's did you see that interview with Jensen?
No.
Jensen's like, it's a response to like criticism where like they're like, what do you have to say, like the fans that are saying that you guys aren't trying, like that you've won so much that like you don't have like the drive to play. And Jensen looks at the person, he's like, I'm trying my damnedest and I'm practicing every day. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. And he's like, I don't know why we can't win the game. And he's just like, oh, okay. Like, okay, buddy. Like, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm sure he is trying his damnedest. And
it's an offensive question to someone who's on the team. Like, he's being told that he's not trying when obviously no one else can see what he's putting in the work for. So I don't blame him for being.
It's hard to win when your bot lane is getting hooked by a Phil support.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a god crush player.
Late Toucan is putting him in the dirt.
Yeah, they didn't realize that the other sport had fingers.
No, had hands.
Or had hands. Well, either way, I guess.
Tablet was like, supports haven't had hands in NA for like years. Who's this guy? What's going on here?
Yeah. Golden Guardians is my biggest surprise.
I sit here and I think about it, and
I thought they would. Like, positive surprise, I guess.
I might want to bump them up one spot the more I think about it, but
like it's weird because they're winning these games. They're 4-4, but they've like died a lot more than they've gotten kills.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 76 to 100 for kill to death.
My God,
they're barely positive with average gold. First blood's kind of whatever. Like it's like they're just finding ways to win the games that they're just scrapping it out basically, which I respect. I like that. And I love that Golden Glue is doing well because you've made fun of them for years.
Don't say you, say we.
I haven't. No, I've always been on the Golden Glue hype train.
Have you?
Yeah,
Logan was. He has. I have been. I'll vouch for him. He's always.
Really?
Yeah. I've actually think Golden Glue is way better than people give him credit for. I've said that since the beginning.
All right.
So that makes me happy.
I'll lay down on this one. I'm not dying on this hill.
I will. I die on the golden glue. The GG of the GG hill.
So here's my thing. Actually,
Tell me.
I think I will
Tell me your thing.
I think I'm gonna bump up Golden Guardians one spot
Hey, attaboy.
because let me
Can't wait for
switch-
them to lose the rest of their games now.
I know. Let me
No.
switch that
It's exactly what's gonna happen too.
because I do actually think that Golden Guardians will make playoffs. But then I look at like everyone that's above them, and I'm like, who can they like?
I can't
Who do
believe
they kick? I was like, who do they kick? And then I'm like, oh, I guess you kick out 100 Thieves. It would be my one. Liquid. I just have Liquid high because it's my same mentality of like they're gonna be better. Like they're gonna be better. Like I'm not saying they're gonna be great.
It's the mid-season power
But
rankings,
Liquid-
not who's gonna make tournament power rankings.
That's
true.
That's true. No, that is
That's
true. I'll
true.
give you that. Actually, I'll
You
give you
made the
that.
rules.
No, I will give you that. So we'll bump Golden Guardians up one here, and we'll go.
You
100
bumped up
Thieves.
2.
Well, no, yeah, but I'm bumping it up.
Oh, I
One
see
from
what
the
you
Flipping
mean.
previous
it
Okay.
down.
Okay.
Yeah, there you
yeah.
go. So I'll do that. I'll give
That
you
looks a
that
little
one.
better.
Okay.
That's much more in line with what me and Coop set up.
Yeah, that actually is. Yeah.
1 second here.
GG18.
GG18. That should be a team name, actually.
Oh, I did my math wrong. LOL.
Yeah, figure it out later. All right.
Anything else on there that surprises? I guess I don't know if surprise is the right word, but I don't think Immortal should still be this high for anyone, but we all have them up there.
They're
Yeah.
such a
That's
weird
just
team.
The way it is.
Yeah, they're I don't understand them. I can't put them onto word. Like they on paper they suck, but they keep winning.
Yeah, I mean, at
And
the end
here
of the
we
day,
are.
the only stat that matters is the W stat.
They're like third to last in gold difference at 15.
Mm-hmm.
They're what are they? They're where'd you go? Fourth to last on First Blood. Like their early game's just garbage. And here they are, tied for second.
Maybe it's not that Immortals is just playing well enough to like. They're not necessarily playing good enough to win. They're playing well enough not to lose more often than they're playing bad enough to lose. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. There's like barely a single stat that shows like why they should be winning, yet they are.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like they're winning by a lot. I mean, they're one game, like, they lose one more game than they have, and they're even, and they're tied for,
Yeah.
third place with everybody else.
Yeah. They're weird, but here we are. A lot of split left, though.
Mm-hmm.
We do have 8 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have questions, Eli?
I
For
do.
the trivia, team fight.
This
trivia?
this one took me a little bit to set up because I had to do some digging for this. So for anybody that doesn't know, the team fight trivia is a little kind of a game show that we do at the end of the show where every correct answer gives you a point. If you get 2 questions in a row, you get 2 points because you're starting your it's a double kill. And then if you get 3 correct in a row and they can be interrupted, you get another additional point. So you get a maximum of 3 points a question. But if somebody else gets a question right in the middle, you lose you're a double kill. Somebody else gets one. It trust me, it makes sense. But the first couple of weeks, Logan did really well. Got off to an early lead. Last week,
Then he sucked.
yeah, Coos ended on a
I'm sorry that none of the
3-answer
answers
streak.
were Zephyr. My bad.
Hey, none of them will the ancients, so shut up.
Yeah, I did it for both of you. So right now the score is Logan is winning 10-7. Coobs' next question, because he finished on a 3-answer win streak, is worth 3 points. Logan's is worth 1 point because he got his last question wrong. So it's actually really, really close. Are you guys ready to
for
play?
long? Because I will get every single one wrong. Let's go. Bring it on.
And I guess I should mention the way I'm deciding who gets to answer the question is they have to enter in a message in a Discord thing, and I see who does it first. All right. So this week is about League of Legends lore.
Damn it.
Oh, good God. We're going to have a lot of past questions.
That's true. But I think it'll be really interesting. The
So
answers
can
are-
I ask a question?
Sure.
No.
Go ahead.
Is it all new lore?
It is current lore.
Okay, dope.
All
That
right.
is important.
Varus is gay. First one's mine. Did I nail it?
No.
Did I nail it?
Nope.
He did.
Damn it.
All right. All right. Question number 1.
Actually,
Andy.
Varus is not gay. Varus is a Darkin.
Oh,
It's
shut
the
up.
guy that Varus
No,
overtakes that's gay.
He's right.
wow.
Annie is an orphan girl living in the wild of Runeterra. What region were her parents from?
Pass.
There's only a couple of regions.
Oh man.
Who's passing? Do you want to take a crack at it?
Yeah. Let's go. Oh, let's go with Ionia.
That is incorrect. You
Damn
literally
it.
have nothing to lose. By
No, I know I
guessing.
have nothing to lose. That's why I was
So,
just.
yeah.
I was
No.
hoping that like Coobs would be like Shurima, and I'd be like, oh hell yeah.
Oh,
No. Hey,
What's like
Coobs, you sure you want
woods?
to pass? You don't want to?
yeah,
take it?
yeah. There's no
All
way.
right. Her parents were from Noxus, actually.
Yeah, I would've
Her
gotten
mother
that
and
somewhere.
father.
Shoot.
Gregory the Grey and his wife, a witch by the name of Ameline, decided to move to the Borderlands during Boram Darkwell's last years on the Noxian throne.
I was like, her mom was not a witch, but her dad.
Her stepmom
Yeah, her
was like a
stepmom
normal
was
person, and
Yeah.
her stepsister. Annie killed her stepsister, I think.
Mm-mm.
No, Annie
No,
killed
in the
her
video, the sister falls in the river. Annie
Right.
kills her dad and her mom.
and her stepmom.
Her stepmom.
Yeah.
Because her stepmom calls her a bitch, and she fucking sets Tibbers on her, and Tibbers like eats her.
Yeah. Well, no, the actual story is that the stepmom was going to be blamed Annie for the death
Yeah.
of, and I didn't write down what the other girl's name was. So she was going to destroy
Daisy.
Tibbers. Daisy, yeah, that's correct. Wow, look at you.
I watched the video.
All right. I'm expecting neither of you to get this one right.
That's what I feel like for all of them.
All right. Question number 2.
Bring it.
Janna is a protective air deity of what location?
Of what region or what location?
Location.
Damn it.
I'm sensing a pass from Coobs again.
I don't know locations.
Go ahead.
I don't know what it's called. The dojo that Shen is from, because that's light, but it's the only guess I have.
No, she's actually a protector of Zaun.
What?
Originally the port city of Oshra-Vazan, the city prayed to Janna to protect them and bless their voyages because they were a bustling port city. She maintained a quiet following during the rule of the ascended god warriors of the Shuriman Empire, despite orders to destroy all false idols depicting her image. During a disaster that by all rights should have swept Zaun off the map, Janna erected impossible walls of air to keep the water and the gusts, or to keep the water away, and gusts of wind to cut through the suffocating smoke of the fires.
Hey, good for her. She's a grown woman.
That one, I've read a lot of lore today to put this together, and that one surprised me.
Wait, is it? How do you say her name?
Janna?
Yeah, right. It's Janna, exactly. We might have someone listening who calls her Jana.
Oh, okay. Well, that's like a.
French.
I guess I didn't like put it into Google Translate and have it read it back to me. That's what.
No, you're right. No, it's Jana.
Okay, let's get personal vendettas out of here. This is a family friendly game show. All right. Number 3. There are only 2 champions from the lost city of Acathia. Zillion and who? Logan.
Shit. Volibear. It's not Volibear, but I was like,
my.
that's not it, right?
It's not Volibear.
Yeah, I was like, it's like, oh, Zillion and Volibear have that thing, and I'm like, Logan, that's
Mhm.
not the answer. It's not Volibear. It's from the Freljord.
That's
God
correct.
damn it.
you wanna
So I think I got this one
Okay.
because I used to be into lore a lot.
Okay.
This is a very early champion, if I remember right.
Okay.
I believe it is Jax.
That's correct. Wow.
Yeah,
The
I used to
three-pointer.
be, because I used to think this game was an RPG.
It should be. By all rights.
And I got into the lore pretty early, and that one I remember because I thought he was interesting with the whole, I don't need a weapon.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So-
that one I had.
Damn.
The last known Grandmaster at Arms of Acathia or Acathia?
I
don't know
have
how
no
to pronounce
idea.
Jax
I think I
or
called it. Yeah.
Syjax Kale Rinks Ikathun, which was his original
My
full
God.
name. I know. Has gathered up one of the lamps of Acathian elemental fire that was used to fight the creatures of the void. He roams Runeterra looking for anyone strong enough to stand with him against the void. He has yet to meet anyone who has convinced him that they can march against the coming darkness. So the vanity thing is a little bit misplayed, I think, lore-wise.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're 10-10. Coops can take a 3-point lead, his first lead of the entire split.
That would be nice.
Number 4. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Totes.
Which champion roams Zon, helping citizens in any way they can?
Helping in Zon? Oh, man.
You said champion, right?
Yes. One champion. Go ahead, Logan.
Echo.
Not correct.
Damn it.
Coobs, you want to take a crack at this one?
This could be.
Helping in Zon. Sure. We're tied. F it.
Sure.
Let's go Vi.
No.
Damn it.
She.
That's why I
was
said
like the
champion
last-
or champions. Because if you said champions,
Right.
I'd have said Caitlyn Vi.
Well, so that's Piltover.
But
Piltover and Zon kind of hate each other.
no, right. But they go to Zon to like.
I
fuck it up.
guess.
Yeah.
The actual answer is Blitzcrank.
I should have expected the Blitzcrank answer in here somewhere.
Of course. You're talking to the God Hand. So Blitzcrank was originally built as a way to remove the toxic waste claiming entire neighborhoods of Zon. He was given new life by Victor after being rendered inoperable by the caustic material. Victor installed a priceless Hextech crystal from the deserts of Shurima. Blitzcrank began to learn and over time became fully sentient.
It's deep.
I
Badass
love
champion.
the lore of this. Why do we not have an RPG? I love this. This
I
is
know.
awesome.
The lore is bad. I should
We're
get
close. We have
back
that
into it.
turn-based RPG coming. Rune King.
That's supposed to
Alright.
be like the pirate people, right?
Yeah, it's Bilgewater.
Well, that's Bilgewater.
It's Bilgewater, and it takes place around the time where like the whole Gangplank misfortune thing happens.
Yeah.
I believe so. Like the
but
big
didn't you know?
lore
But
event.
didn't you know? Alawi is Gangplank's first love.
Oh. I think I may have heard that somewhere, but
Yeah.
I can't remember.
As you spend hours loading into a game.
Not anymore.
That's
Used to
true.
be
That's
way
gotten
worse.
better. It has gotten better.
Do you remember when you used to spend hours logging into League?
Yes.
You'd like
Remember
get done
every
with
time-
class and you'd log in, and then you'd like just have to leave your computer for like 2 hours, like just to wait to log in. Good
Yeah,
time.
then you get flamed for having a hamster powering your computer.
Yeah. Some people would have been blessed with a hamster. I remember living in the country and having to wait 4 hours for League to update.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy I started playing League when I went to college and not when I was at home. My parents called me actually yesterday. They're getting high-speed internet. And
Wow.
I said, I thought we couldn't get high-speed internet because no one would do it. And they were like, well, I guess the times have changed. And I'm like, oh, I hate you so much.
Who did you have for an ISP?
They used to have Wild Blue.
What is
God,
that?
I've never heard
The
that.
high speed was like 5 megabytes per second. That's what I
Oh,
had in high school.
Goodness.
Now it's
That's
20,
probably
now
the
it's
same.
25 megabytes per second.
No wonder you could only play RuneScape.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's a new thing. They like install. It's like a new thing in southern Minnesota. They install
Sure.
like the satellites on your grain bins, and basically they come to you and they say,
yeah,
"Let us
yeah.
put a like if you let us put a satellite on your grain bin, like you get internet for free, and
Sure.
then we can give better internet to everyone around you." Kind of a thing. So if you're the first one to say yes to it, you get a better
Yeah.
deal. And they're like, and if you ever at any point don't want it, I think they're contracted for like a year, but it's free. So like if they wanted
Sure.
different internet, they could just get different internet because they're not paying for the other one. But
Right.
they're like, then we just come and take it down, and then we can put it on someone else's grain bin.
Nice.
So yeah,
All right, we're learning about the farmers here. This
it's a hard
podcast is
life.
for everything. This
we
podcast
had
is
dial up
for
until I was
everything.
in 10th grade in high school, buddy. It
I'm
was
so
a hard
sorry.
life.
I'm so sorry.
Playing like RuneScape was the best thing I could play, and that was unbearable.
Well, it's a great game, so.
Right. Well, but anyway.
All right,
Are you,
last
you
question.
guys ready for question 5?
Oh, I'm
Let's do
sorry. I
it.
thought that was the end. I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
that was 4.
Go ahead.
All right, question 5. This is worth 1 point for either one of you. We're tied at 10. Which champion, born to a Targonian aspect, is heralded as the protector of Demacia? Logan.
Garen?
Incorrect.
Damn it. Oh my god. That was too easy. I should have guessed something else. Oh, shoot.
Coops?
If he doesn't get it, can I guess again? I know it won't
You
count.
can't. I'm not
It
going to
won't
give you a
count,
point, but yeah.
Protector of Demacia.
Mm-hmm.
It's Galio, right?
That is
Shoot.
also incorrect.
Damn it.
Is it?
That is the one I was expecting people to go with.
Is
Do you have
it
another?
Zinzao?
No.
Damn it.
And I'm also 100% positive that our entire friends group has pronounced that name wrong forever.
Jinzhao?
Xinjiao?
Like,
Jinzhao?
I
Sorry,
believe
that
it's
was racist.
Xinjiao.
Xinjiao, okay.
I believe, but I just know everybody does it wrong. The answer is actually Kale.
Oh, duh.
Both Kale and Morgana served Demacia for many years until Kale's protege Ronas attempted to imprison Morgana, whom Kale allowed, to the dismay of her followers, to attempt to rehabilitate wrongdoers who appeared humble enough to admit their guilt. Kale returned to find the people of Demacia rioting and her protege dead. Consumed by rage, she looked down upon the city and summoned her divine fire to cleanse the city of its sins. Can you tell I copy-pasted the lore on this one?
Maybe.
Morgana flew
No
up to
cliff
meet
notes
her.
for this.
No. This is because this is my favorite one. Morgana flew up to meet her, raising her blade. If Kale was to purge the darkness she saw in mortal hearts, she would have to start with her own sister. The two battled across the heavens, each matching the other's terrible blows and striking the buildings beneath them to rubble. Abruptly, the fight was halted by their father's anguished cry. Kale watched Keelam, this is her dad's name, die in her sister's arms, a senseless victim of the violence that had overtaken the city that day. Then she held the two halves of her mother's sword, the aspect, in her hands and vowed she would never again let mortal emotions rule her. Kale returned to Mount Targon, where she had been born, to fulfill her legacy to the aspect of justice.
I feel like I was listening to an audiobook.
I was about to say, I just need an audiobook of Eli stating lore. And I would be happy.
Oh, listen. Riot Games wants to go ahead and publish a couple of books, and they need somebody to do voiceovers.
I know just the man.
Listen, I'm probably not option number one, but I'm willing to do it. If you get down to like 4 or 5, call me.
I think you're in the running.
Nobody runs in my family.
Well,
Well,
that makes sense.
So
Go ahead.
you guys are tied at 10 going into next week.
Wow.
Which is not something I thought would happen after Logan was up like
A million.
7-0 week one.
I just had to, go back to 2013 for my Jax lore.
Yeah, no kidding.
I just knew him and Zillion were connected, and I was like, this has got to be it.
I expected Logan to say Kaisa, to be honest with you.
I suppose. Kathy and Rain.
Yeah. She's not from Acacia. She grew up in Sharima, close to Acacia.
Anything else for you guys today?
Nah.
I'm good.
Let's get out of here.
That's going to do it for us today then. Remember to follow us here on Twitch and Twitter at Talk of the Rift. If you missed any of our other episodes, you can check them out on our Anchor page, anchor.fm/Talk of the Rift. From there, you can find us on virtually all podcast platforms from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, just to name a few. Don't forget to send us your questions for our Q&A or send us an audio message on our Anchor page so we can play it live, and we will see you all next time.
See ya.
Love you all.